Hey guys, so in this video I'm gonna show you how to paint skin with watercolor brushes, and I'm using one of my old sketches for this because I love this one. And I'm not gonna do eyes and lips because they're already done. Also, I'm using watercolor brush set, and I'm using brush number 3 and 7. Now if you haven't watched my previous video, I actually showed you guys in that video, I actually showed best free Procreate watercolor brushes that you can download for free and like completely instantly import those on your Procreate app. So if you haven't checked that video already, go ahead and check that out, and you will find this brush set that I'm using right here. And yeah, then you can just go ahead and start with the painting process. Also guys, I've got a sore throat, so excuse my voice in this video. So I am not gonna explain each and every step that I am doing to shade or paint skin because I already have in-depth tutorial on how to paint skin. The difference here is I'm using watercolor brushes to do so, but the process is still the same. The difference is just that we are using watercolor brushes, and I'm just going to explain you guys how the watercolor brushes are different from the usual brushes that I use to paint skin. So honestly, these brushes are gonna obviously give you some sort of texture when you're gonna paint because these are watercolor brushes, and that's the look we are going for. But still, if you want to use blending tool because of the texture and you feel the texture is just too much, then you can just totally go ahead and use blending tool. I actually used 2-3 times. I actually used the blending tool 2-3 times because I was just so annoyed with all the texture. But we are actually going for that look, and that's how we are actually gonna make the whole portrait painting look as if it was painted by some watercolor brushes. But if that's not the goal, if you're not actually going for that watercolory look, then you can totally go ahead and use blending tool. But yeah, these brushes are really good if you want to create some sort of texture onto the skin. So in your process, in your portrait painting process, you can actually include some of these brushes to add texture to the skin. And yeah, I mean, I really like the fact that I can actually create some texture using these brushes and also using the blending tool. So as you guys can see, I was kind of struggling with the brush because it was actually giving me a lot of pigmentation in just one go. Even when I was painting with light pressure onto the skin, I was actually getting a lot of pigmentation out of the brush. So I had to actually lower the opacity down. So if you are painting a portrait with watercolor brushes and you don't want to put too much pigmentation just right away, then by all means go ahead and play around with the opacity, and that will help you a lot. That will give you a lot of control, and you won't even have to use any blending tool to make sure that there's like not a lot of texture going on if you are not going for that texture look, obviously. So yeah, I was just building up colors with these brushes, and my normal process of painting a portrait is I have actually 4 colors from orange undertone and 4 colors from pink undertone, and I kind of like to mix those colors together to create a perfect skin kind of look. So as you guys can see, the background is already skin colored, so I didn't actually go ahead and add skin color separately because I already have that color. So before you even start with the painting, you want to make sure that the base is solid. All right, the base skin color should be solid so that you can paint over that, and it shouldn't be see-through, or how do I want to say it shouldn't be see-through, that's what I want to say. The base color should be solid. So for that, you can just use any brush. That's just me, that's just how I do it. I obviously don't want a see-through kind of skin, especially if you have some sort of background going on. Then you want to make sure you have a solid base skin color. Then you can just go ahead and play around with the opacity and different colors and stuff like that. But yeah, that's just one thing to point out. So yeah, at this point I'm just building color, and I build colors in different layers, and I also make sure again, I also make sure I'm not putting all of the pressure onto the screen or getting all of that pigmentation just right away, especially with these brushes. You want to be really careful. So yeah, at this point I'm adding this maroonish color, and I always do that. I always mix and match these maroonish deep pink kind of color with orange, or not orange colors, but colors with orange undertones. But if you are painting a dark skin color, then it is going to be different. And if you want me to do a tutorial where I talk about colors in general and how to actually create a color palette for skin or different skin tones, then do let me know down in the comment section below. I would love to do that. So yeah, so here, all in all, what I'm doing is I am painting and also just blending with these brushes only and in one go. And that's how these brushes work. You want to make sure you are doing it one go. So when you do it, like when you actually traditionally paint something with watercolors, that's how it is. You have to do it in one go, right? And I used to paint a lot with watercolor brushes. I used to paint a lot of watercolor paintings before, and that's how exactly those brushes work. So yeah, that's it. And I kind of liked the final results because the skin was looking good and textury and skin-like. And I also highlighted the face with one of the brushes with more pigmentation with the brush, which will actually give me more pigmentation in one go. I selected that brush, and these brushes were really good. So if you want to download it, just definitely go ahead and watch my previous video. I have all of those best free Procreate watercolor brushes in that video, and you will find a lot of brush sets in that video only. So this was the final result, and I really like the final result because I got a lot of texture onto the skin. So yeah, by all means include one watercolor brush in your portrait painting process to add some sort of texture while you're painting skin. That will look amazing, and that will give your skin painting a lot of good texture. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up. If you do create something out of my tutorials, tag me on Instagram. I would love to see that. Other than that, I will see you guys in the next video.